Hello and welcome to F1 Livery Histories, the channel where we take a look back at the different paint jobs, racing trims and sponsor decals adopted by respective Formula 1 teams throughout the eras. Today we'll be taking a look at a team which is the first and only team to be owned exclusively by a multinational cigarette company. A team which arrived onto the Formula 1 grid bearing much promise, yet ultimately remained as championship contenders at best: British American Racing. The British American Tobacco Group has a long history in Formula 1, first becoming associated with the Arrows Formula 1 team as leading sponsors in 1984, promoting its Barclay brand. Throughout the course of the next 13 Grand Prix seasons, BAT would go on to sponsor such teams as Williams and Jordan. Prior to the 1998 season, BAT brought its participation within the sport to new levels, as the Tobacco Consortium completed the purchase of the Tyrrell racing team. This purchase would signal the arrival of an all-new outfit to the Formula 1 grid in season 1999, as the newly established British American Racing founded its base of operations in the small town of Brackley. The team would create pre-season headlines by signing 1997 world champion Jacques Villeneuve as their main driver, as well as announcing a technical partnership with Reynard Motorsport. So begins our retrospective on the surprising yet iconic liveries of British American Racing. The B.A.R. 01 chassis was built by Reynard Motorsport at B.A.R.'s factory in Brackley, having been designed by Malcolm Osler and Adrian Reynard. Engines were supplied to the team by Supertech, whilst Elf and Bridgestone were called upon for fuel and tyres. Perhaps the car's most notable feature was its distinctively eye-catching livery, which incorporated two entirely separate liveries rolled into one. Upon the launch of the B.A.R. 01, prior to the commencement of the season, the team unveiled its ambition to race with two separate liveries for each of its drivers' cars. Team number 1 Jacques Villeneuve's car was to race with a red and white Lucky Strike livery, which utilised artistic flashes of red, black and grey upon a white backdrop, whilst his teammate Ricardo Zonta's car was planned to race with a classic deep blue and yellow 555 livery, which not only promoted 555 branding, but also showcased a night sky aesthetic, evident with twinkling stars visible on the car's wings and monocoque. Additional team sponsors such as Excel and Teleglobe, along with technical partners Reynard, would feature on both sister cars. This twin livery concept quickly became a talking point within the Formula 1 world. However, the sport's governing body would intervene, ruling the separate liveries illegal under F1 regulations. As a result of this, the team would race throughout the 1999 season with an unusual livery which combined the two previously existing liveries, as both brands were sectioned off to the left and right hand side of the car, joined together with a yellow cartoon-like zipper which ran down the centre of the car from front to back. The car also featured a silver nose cone which displayed the driver's numbers, whilst the team's drivers and mechanics competed with similarly themed overalls. At races in countries which had banned tobacco advertising, 555 was replaced with crescent moons, whilst Lucky Strike was replaced with the phrase "Run Free." The following season, the team would move on and compete with a much more conventional livery for the Honda-powered 002, which raced predominantly with Lucky Strike branding, this time with a much cleaner, all-white backdrop, which did away with the previously seen red flourishes. 555 was seen on the car, now featuring in a smaller capacity on the car's airbox. New sponsors such as Sonax, Sienna Group, B-Trade and World Online were welcomed aboard, whilst the team once again created another unique phrase in place of Lucky Strike sponsorship at tobacco ban races: look-alike. The team switch to Honda engines for the 2000 season marked the return of the Japanese automaker as an engine supplier for the first time since 1992. Along with the switch to Honda came a change in fuel suppliers to the Japanese ENEOS company. In 2001 the team produced the 003 chassis, which was driven by Jacques Villeneuve to the team's first podium finish, as he secured third place at the San Marino Grand Prix. By now the team's cars had discarded their silver nose cones in favour of bold black, red and grey piping which ran along the sides of the vehicle, as well as the added presentation of its driver's numbers within a black circle upon the car's monocoque. New sponsors for 2001 included Italian internet service providers Tiscali, seen on the side of the car. The team would continue to obscure its Lucky Strike branding at tobacco ban races. 2002 saw the team producing the 004, the first car designed and manufactured exclusively by the team following Adrian Reynard's resignation as team technical director the previous year. The team raced with a largely unchanged livery, with the only real differences being the addition of computer company Acer, which took on space upon the car's airbox previously occupied by 555, and electronics company Intercond as sponsors. 555 now appeared on the car's nose cone, whilst towards the end of the season the team's engine partner Honda would feature prominently on the car's rear wing. The following season saw the arrival of the 005 chassis, which was once again painted primarily white. However, Lucky Strike's colours of red, black and grey now featured in symmetry on the car's engine case. Castrol was signed aboard as technical partners, whilst new sponsors came in the form of Cena. In select races held in tobacco-banned countries, the team would employ the use of a quote-unquote barcode in place of Lucky Strike sponsorship. 2004 saw the arrival of the highly competitive Michelin-shod 006 chassis, which was driven by Jenson Button and Takuma Sato to second position in the World Constructors' Championship, with Button securing 3 second-place finishes at races throughout the season. Once again, the livery undertook a small shake-up, with Lucky Strike's colour palette featuring in a new way on the car's white backcloth. Lucky Strike would transform into Look Left, Look Right and Don't Walk throughout various stages of the season, whilst ALF was brought in as fuel suppliers. The 2004 Chinese Grand Prix marked the return of the team's blue and yellow 555 livery, as test driver Anthony Davidson's car promoted the brand during Friday practice. Despite this upswing in form throughout 2004, the team was unable to carry this momentum into the following season. The all-new 007 chassis was found to be under the minimum required weight as stipulated by the FIA, which led to the team being disqualified from the San Marino Grand Prix and excluded from the following 2 rounds of the season. The team reverted back to Eneos fuels and signed aboard Ray-Ban, NTN and Celerant as new sponsors. 2005 would also see the team carrying yet another catchphrase in place of Lucky Strike at tobacco-banned races, Speed Freak. At the 2005 Chinese Grand Prix, the team would change its colour scheme to that of 555, once again promoting its sister cigarette brand to the Chinese market. However, new legislation banning the presence of tobacco sponsorship in motorsport would see British American Tobacco offloading the team to its longtime engine suppliers Honda following the conclusion of the season. This event gave rise to the return of the Honda F1 team, which continued to race with Lucky Strike sponsorship during its return season as a manufacturer in 2006. Once the new advertising bans came into effect, BAT would remain absent from the world of Formula 1 up until the 2019 season, when the tobacco company entered a commercial partnership with McLaren, which sees the logo of BAT's A Better Tomorrow campaign appearing on the all-new McLaren MCL 34 chassis. So concludes our journey documenting a company that is not only one of Formula 1's most celebrated and recognisable team sponsors, but also one of the finest Formula 1 teams never to win an official Grand Prix.